So what's happening now, do you know?
Right, well, you know, I've been sort of caught in the middle of it since around 5 o'clock this afternoon. And before you know, everything started to kick off, what actually ignited everything is a young female had approached the police standing line, and she was set up on by police with their batons.
What do you mean by set up? Sorry to interrupt you. What do you mean by set upon?
Well, the police line, they had the line stood there, had actually charged towards her and started hitting her with the baton. Subsequently, it turned out she was only 16, and this absolutely made everyone go up in uproar.
And what was she doing? What was she doing that towards the police?
She just approached the police saying that the community demanded answers and, you know, justice must be prevailed and, you know, they needed questions answering, and they just set up on her. Now then, obviously, you know, hundreds of people who'd congregated since evening had then charged towards the police, then shops were getting, you know, burnt down. I've just come inside and I can tell you now, you know, despite what police are saying, this incident is far beyond control. It's actually what they're doing is pushing all of the people that have congregated since evening into the actual estates of Tottenham. And this is, I've just seen a pub being broken into with everybody running into the pub, sitting down in the pub, drinking in the pub. You know, numerous amounts of vehicles have been set fire to on the road, and it's all going in a estate now. So that means that obviously the media aren't able to get their cameras in because it's not safe. So at the moment, the public and the media are only going by what the police are saying, and what the police are saying is fairly inaccurate to what I'm seeing.
OK, can I just clear up one thing? When you were outside protesting peacefully with banners, presumably, outside the police station, at what point did the police come out? Presumably they came out and just lined up outside and just refused to say anything. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, at the start they just sort of came out. It was high-vis uniformed officers. It wasn't officers wearing any kind of protective clothing or anything. It just gradually started to build and to build and to build. There was a senior officer who came out. That was clear because he had the his collar stripes on, you know, that identified him as a senior officer. And there was kind of no... you know, there was no communication there. There was nothing to say, OK, we've heard what you've had to say, and there was nothing.
OK. And now people are dispersing, but going back to their estates, and you're saying that the trouble is continuing.
Yeah, I mean, for those who don't know Tottenham, Tottenham is very much built up of estates. You know, at the moment it's going north towards Northumberland Park, and it's gone right into the estates there. I've just literally walked round from there, and it's absolutely chaotic. You know, every road you pass, there's something happening. There's a car burning. There's, you know, a premises being broken into. You know, there's people who can't get home. They can't pass the cordons that the police have set up. It's absolutely mayhem out there. This is not the scenes that you'd expect to see in London on a Saturday evening. And
are these just local people that are caught up in this?
Well, from what I'm hearing, you know, people are coming as far as from South London. Obviously, you know, when an incident like this happens, it draws in lots of people who have no sort of right to be protesting or don't know, you know, what it's even about. But they come because obviously there's opportunities, you know, to loot. You know, I just had a gentleman stop me and ask me, you know, where's all the alcohol coming from, because a supermarket has been broken into and everybody's freeloading alcohol. You know, there's cars out there and all that kind of stuff, you know, putting in the goods, microwaves, that kind of stuff. So it's absolutely chaos. And I don't see this dying down. I just see this as the start of something that's probably going to go on over the next few days.
So you're implying almost that it's building up because people are coming from other areas of London. How are they getting information about this?
Well, you know, I'm sure everybody's tuning into the media. I'm sure people are making phone calls. You know, people who have family outside of the area are probably telling family. There's also people who are obviously coming to the area to make sure that their family and friends are okay, because obviously a lot of people are worried if they have people living in the area. I heard the person talking before, I believe it was a police officer, saying that there were no injuries. I've seen numerous amounts of people being taken away by ambulance covered in blood. There was one point where a young female was set upon, and she was getting her head literally kicked in the middle of the road, and police had to go in and drag her out. So the report that there are no injuries, I find quite hard to believe, because I've seen more than probably around 10 people covered in blood tonight, and they seem to just be people who've been caught up in the protest and don't actually know what's happening or why it's happening.
What would it take for the situation to calm down now?
Well, at the moment, I think it's past that. I think, as the night goes on, I think people will obviously just get tired, because, people's energy, they've been out since 5 o'clock in the evening, and that's a long period of time. So I think gradually people will start to retreat back to their homes and stuff. But at the same time, the damage that's being done to the community, to all the business premises, this is going to take a long time to get over, and that's if there isn't any more trouble over the next ongoing days, which is probably most likely.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed for joining.